Hello there. It seems that the Brexit talks ended today over a cold continental breakfast instead of a warming full English breakfast, with talk that the negotiations are now going backwards. Firstly, please subscribe and like this video to give my channel a boost, and I'm always uploading new content, so please do check back daily. The 7th round of the Brexit negotiations ended today, with the highly predictable assessment from both sides of no progress. And the responses of the two negotiators were as expected. A rather lengthy tome and speech from the EU's Michel Barnier, but a few short paragraphs from the UK's David Frost. Now, I did find it amusing that although the EU Commission press releases are generally published in their website in English, the one containing Michel Barnier's speech was headlined in French, as was much of the text. And within Barnier's lengthy speech he said, "However, too often this week it felt as if we were going backwards more than forwards." And one of the big stoppers still seems to revolve around the issue of fisheries, where Michel Barnier claimed progress had not been made. But here was me thinking that the UK had a fisheries bill progressing through the House of Lords to be enacted and ready and waiting for use by the end of the Brexit implementation period. Good progress there. Anyway, what Barnier said was, "Our trade agreement must be accompanied by standards of fair competition, of economic and commercial fair play. Our agreement must guarantee a fair and sustainable solution in the long term for European fishermen. Finally, there will be no cherry-picking or card access to the single market, since the United Kingdom refuses to accept the rules and obligations of this market." And he went on to say, "Brexit means Brexit. So we can agree on something then." It also seems that David Frost needled Michel Barnier a bit on the subject of road haulage, something I talked about in a recent video. Barnier doesn't seem to like the idea of UK lorries in his single market. Too much like free single market access, it seems. And aircraft come to that. Michel Barnier also said, "The need for a level playing field is not going to go away. Even if the UK continues to insist on a low-quality agreement on goods and services only. It is a non-negotiable precondition to grant access to our market of 450 million citizens, given the United Kingdom's geographic proximity and the intensity of our economic exchanges." And he went on to quote bits of the non-binding political declaration, and added that, "Given the short time left, what I said in London in July remains true. Today, at this stage, an agreement between the United Kingdom and the European Union seems unlikely. I simply do not understand why we are wasting valuable time." He also said that on the European side they were concerned about the state of the negotiations, and referring to his concept of negotiating all things in parallel, he said, "We do not see how, by putting off the more difficult subjects until later, we could come to a better agreement. We should start working on consolidating legal texts. We are ready to do it. We had already proposed a complete text in March. The British have also proposed British texts on certain subjects. But such consolidation will only be possible if it is done together, the British and us, and not each on its own, and on all subjects in parallel. We are not here, since as I speak to you, the only prospect opened by the British would be that of a trade agreement, zero tariffs, zero quotas, without any credible level playing field framework, and without a balanced agreement on fisheries. It is, of course, a no-go. It blocks everything." Michel Barnier also reiterated the EU timeline deadline by saying, we have very little time left to conclude negotiations. For an agreement to actually enter into force on January the 1st, 2021, in 4 months and 10 days, a full legal text must be reached by the end of October at the latest, in order to allow sufficient time for both the Council and the European Parliament to decide. And doubtless when we get to October, everyone and his dog will be howling for a Brexit implementation period extension as we stare at a no-deal exit. For his part, the UK negotiator David Frost said, "We have just concluded the 7th round of negotiations with the EU. As I said last week, agreement is still possible, and it is still our goal, but it is clear that it will not be easy to achieve. Substantive work continues to be necessary across a range of different areas of potential UK-EU future cooperation, if we are to deliver it. We have had useful discussions this week, but there has been little progress." That sounds like a welcome understatement, doesn't it? And he also said that the EU is still insisting not only that we must accept continuity with EU state aid and fisheries policy, but also that this must be agreed before any further substantive work can be done in any other area of the negotiation, including on legal texts. This makes it unnecessarily difficult to make progress. So Barnier's concept of parallel talks on all subjects actually means state aid rules and fisheries first, doesn't it? Frost went on to say, "There are other significant areas which remain to be resolved, and even where there is a broad understanding between negotiators, there is a lot of detail to work through. Time is short for both sides." And then, "We have been clear from the outset about the principles underlying the UK approach. We are seeking a relationship which ensures we regain sovereign control of our own laws, borders and waters, and centred upon a trading relationship based on a free trade agreement like those the EU has concluded with a range of other international partners, together with practical arrangements for cooperation in areas such as aviation, scientific programmes and law enforcement. When the EU accepts this reality in all areas of the negotiation, it will be much easier to make progress." Oh yes, it would. But if what's gone on so far is any indicator, then round 8 will be as fruitless an exercise as this round 7 was. The next set of talks are due to take place in the week of the 7th of September, this time in London, and both sides have stated that they will be in close contact with each other during the next 2 weeks. Although precisely what they'll be talking about during those intervening 2 weeks, I don't know. Maybe the weather? Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell, or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it by following the merchandise link in the descriptions box below. So what do you think about these round 7 Brexit negotiations? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching.